Welcome back. Today we'll be exploring the captivating narratives from Peter Schweizer's eye-opening book, Profiles in Corruption: Abuse of Power by America's Progressive Elite. Let's start with the Clintons, a name synonymous with American politics. Their journey from Arkansas to the White House is well documented, but what about the small acts of corruption that paved their way? It's well known that Hillary Clinton leveraged her husband's position as Attorney General of Arkansas to make nearly $100,000 in cattle futures trades. But this was just the beginning. Fast forward to the White House, and the pattern becomes clearer. Bill's controversial pardon of billionaire fugitive Mark Rich, the Clintons' involvement in the Whitewater real estate deal, and the Clinton Foundation's questionable practices all point to a troubling pattern of using public power for personal gain. The Clinton Foundation, for instance, saw donations skyrocket during Hillary's tenure as Secretary of State, only to plummet after her 2016 election loss. Coincidence? Many don't think so. The Foundation's internal review, leaked through John Podesta's emails, revealed that high-dollar donors expected quid pro quo benefits. This is just one example of how the Clintons' actions raise serious questions about the intersection of power and profit. Now, let's shift our focus to Kamala Harris and her early political mentor, Willie Brown. Harris's rise in California politics is deeply intertwined with Brown. When Brown was Speaker of the California State Assembly, he was instrumental in starting Harris's career, appointing her to lucrative positions and introducing her to his vast network of political supporters. Their relationship was more than just professional. Brown, 31 years Harris's senior and married, began dating her in 1994. Their affair was the talk of San Francisco, and it wasn't long before Harris's career began to flourish. Brown used his influence to secure appointments for Harris, including positions on the State Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board and the California Medical Assistance Commission, which paid handsomely. But the story doesn't end there. Harris's tenure as San Francisco District Attorney, and later as California Attorney General, is marked by allegations of selective prosecution and a troubling pattern of protecting allies and friends. Her handling of the Catholic priest abuse scandal in San Francisco, for instance, raises serious questions. Despite having access to explosive documents detailing decades of abuse, Harris chose to bury the records, claiming it was to protect victims. Victims' groups, however, saw it as a cover-up, protecting the abusers instead. Next, we turn to Joe Biden, a familiar face in American politics for decades. Biden's political career has been a family affair, with his siblings and children playing significant roles. But as his political power grew, so did the opportunities for his family's financial gain. Take Hunter Biden, for example. His business ventures often intersected with his father's political influence, leading to lucrative deals with foreign governments and oligarchs. From Ukraine to China, Hunter's dealings raise questions about the blurred lines between public service and personal profit. The Biden family's financial ties to foreign entities, often facilitated by Joe's political power, highlight a troubling pattern of leveraging public office for private gain. Joe Biden's brother, James, also benefited from his brother's position. His business ventures, particularly in real estate and education, often coincided with Joe's political activities. The pattern is clear. Joe's public power opened doors for his family's business ventures, creating a tangled web of influence and profit. Cory Booker, the charismatic senator from New Jersey, presents himself as a reformer and a champion of the people. But a closer look reveals a different story. Booker's political rise is marked by a pattern of leveraging his power for the benefit of his friends and supporters. From his early days as Newark's mayor to his current role in the Senate, Booker has used his position to reward allies and secure donations for his political machine. Booker's relationship with Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is a prime example. Zuckerberg's $100 million donation to Newark's schools was supposed to be a game changer. Instead, much of the money was diverted to consultants and back pay for teachers, with little tangible improvement in the schools themselves. Elizabeth Warren, the Harvard professor turned senator, has built her reputation as a fierce critic of Wall Street and corporate America. But her actions tell a different story. Warren's legal consulting work for major corporations, including her role in rewriting bankruptcy laws that benefited large corporations, reveals a deep connection to the very entities she claims to oppose. Her family's financial ties to corporations, particularly through her daughter's business ventures, further complicate her image as an outsider. Warren's advocacy for projects that benefit her daughter's clients, such as the Mashpee Wampanoag casino deal, highlights the contradictions between her public persona and her actions. Sherrod Brown, the Ohio senator known for his populist rhetoric, presents himself as a champion of the working class. But his actions suggest a more complex picture. Brown's advocacy for trial lawyers and his close ties to union leaders, particularly his brother Charlie, raise questions about his true priorities. Charlie's class action lawsuits, often targeting industries his brother oversees in Congress, suggest a family business built on leveraging political power for financial gain. Brown's legislative actions, seemingly timed to benefit his brother's legal endeavors, highlight the intertwined nature of his political and family interests. Amy Klobuchar, the Minnesota senator known for her pragmatic approach, has a reputation for being tough on crime and supportive of progressive causes, but her actions suggest a more selective approach to justice and regulation. Klobuchar's prosecutorial record, particularly her handling of the Tom Petters case, raises questions about her priorities and the influence of powerful connections. Her legislative work, often benefiting her largest campaign donors, highlights the intersection of money and politics. Klobuchar's ability to raise enormous sums from corporations while maintaining a liberal voting record underscores the complexities of her political strategy. Eric Garcetti, the Los Angeles mayor, presents himself as a modern progressive, focused on efficiency and innovation. But his actions suggest a more pragmatic approach, often prioritizing the interests of developers and businesses over the public good. Garcetti's use of behested payments, his ties to developers, and his handling of city corruption allegations highlight the challenges of balancing political ambition with public service. And finally, we turn to Bernie Sanders, perhaps the most widely known socialist in the United States. He has built his political career on attacking the wealthy and powerful, but his personal financial dealings tell a different story. Sanders's book sales, real estate holdings, and financial ties to wealthy donors reveal a man who has benefited significantly from his political position. The Sanders family's financial maneuvers, including the mysterious flow of funds through shell companies like Old Town Media, raise questions about transparency and accountability. Sanders's efforts to obscure his financial arrangements, including his reluctance to release his tax returns, suggest a disconnect between his rhetoric and his actions. As we've seen, the link between power and corruption is a recurring theme in American politics. The progressives featured in this episode, despite their claims of pure motives, have all, in various ways, succumbed to the temptations of power. Their actions reveal the complexities of navigating the intersection of public service and personal ambition. Ultimately, the responsibility lies with us, the voters. We must demand transparency, accountability, and integrity from our leaders. As we reflect on the stories we've explored today, let's remember the words of George Orwell. A people that elect corrupt politicians, imposters, thieves, and traitors are not victims, but accomplices. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with others who might be interested. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep shining bright. This has been a BrightLearn video from BrightLearn.ai on the book Profiles in Corruption, Abuse of Power by America's Progressive Elite by Peter Schweizer. Visit BrightLearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.